Shana Tova, everyone.
Shana Tova.
It's my pleasure to welcome you to Temple Emeth and to our family and tot service for Yom Kippur. It's so nice to see you here in the Rabbi Louis J. Siegel Sanctuary, and we are going to begin our service. But before we begin, I have to make sure that everybody knows that this is our prayer book for this service. It's called Gates of Repentance for Young People. And if you don't have a copy of it in your hand, there are lots of copies on the table right outside the sanctuary. In fact, we have a young volunteer, Brandon Balfe, who will be happy to hand you a copy of our Machzor if you need one. So today is a special day called Yom Kippur, and Yom Kippur has an important theme. The theme is Teshuvah, which means returning to be your best self. And part of Teshuvah is saying sorry for the things that we're sorry for. And we're going to get to that a little bit later in the service. Another important part of Yom Kippur is the music of Yom Kippur. And there is a very famous song which the grown-ups in the congregation heard last night, but we get to hear right now. And that song is called Kol Nidre. And so I invite you to turn in your Machzor. So first of all, I have to remind you that we're going to open the book this way. It should say Services for Younger Children on the cover. If you do it the other way, it will also have words, but not the words that we're looking for right now. So please make sure that it says Services for Younger Children, and then open it to page 33. And on page 33 at the top of the page, you can see the words that say Kol Nidre. So Kol Nidre is a song that is always done so that we can see the Torahs. So the Torahs are in the ark, and the Torahs are dressed in white, kind of like the cantor and I are also dressed in white. And so we have to open the ark to see the Torahs, and it's a custom at Temple Emeth and basically in every sanctuary everywhere that when we get ready to open the ark, we stand. So please rise as we get ready for Kol Nidre. The beautiful song we are about to hear is hundreds of years old. We call the song Kol Nidre. Jews all over the world listen to the chanting of Kol Nidre on the eve of Yom Kippur. Kol Nidre means all my promises. We ask God to forgive us for all the promises we might make this year but may not be able to keep. We hold the Torah and pray that God will help us do our best in the new year. We remain standing at this time for another prayer in our prayer book that we stand for. It's found on page 35. And on page 35, we find the Baruch Hu. The Baruch Hu is the blessing that says we are ready to pray. Please join with us in the Baruch Hu.
Baruch Hu et Adonai HaMevorach Baruch
We read together in the middle of page 35, Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam yotzer or. Praised are you, Adonai, who made light and sun so we can work and play. We thank you for Torah, which is also a light for us. We turn the page and we read responsively. The light of Torah shines on our path. It shows us how to live. We need light to see. Torah lights our way as we go on the circle of teshuvah. It helps us to be better people. We need light to heal when we are hurt. Torah brightens our lives with mitzvot, commandments that make our goodness grow. We need light to grow. With love, we sing the Shema, words from the Torah. May these words always be our light. We praise you, our God, for light and life, for Torah and teshuvah.
Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. Shema Yisrael, Baruch Shem Kivod Malchuto Leolam Ba'ed. Baruch Shem Kivod Malchuto Leolam Ba'ed. Shema Yisrael Adonai Eloheinu Adonai Echad. Shema Yisrael Adonai Eloheinu Adonai Echad.
Please be seated. We turn now to page 38. And on page 38, we have an English translation of Ve'ahavta. So we read together responsively. Ve'ahavta et Adonai Elohecha b'chol livavcha v'chol nafshecha v'chol me'odecha. You shall love Adonai your God with all your heart, with all your mind, and with all your strength. Together, how do we love God with all our minds? We love God with all our minds when we study Torah. Help us, God, to learn your Torah. How do we love God with all our strength? We love God when we share what we have, and helping others is the way we love God with all our strength. Help us, God, to be people who give tzedakah. Eternal God, we want to show we love you through all our deeds. May our love make the world a better place, the kind of world you meant it to be when you created us. We look into the Yom Kippur mirror and remember, Pharaoh forced our people to be slaves. We must treat people who are different from us fairly. We look into the Yom Kippur mirror and remember, Pharaoh was cruel to Hebrew children. We must not be cruel to the weak. We look into the Yom Kippur mirror and remember, Pharaoh and his army drowned in the sea, but the Jewish people was saved. We are sorry for Pharaoh and his army, though they were our enemy. We are happy God freed our people and helps us to be free. We sing Mi Chamocha, a song of praise to God for freedom. Mi Chamocha, who is like you, eternal God. You help us learn from the past so we may do good deeds in the future.
Mi chamocha beilim Adonai, mi chamocha nedoi b'kodesh, noroi dilot u'seif eleh. Adonai imach le'olam va'ed.
Our next prayer is on page 40. And page 40, you can see there's a big word at the top. It says tefillah. And tefillah is a word that is the name of a section for a number of prayers. The first of them is Avot V'Imahot, and you can see that in smaller letters on the page. So we're going to begin Avot V'Imahot just like we do at any family service. And then near the bottom of the page, listen closely, the music will change and we'll sing a special song for the holidays called Zochrenu. Please rise if you are able for the tefillah.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu v'Elohei Avotenu v'Imotenu Elohei Abraham Elohei Yitzchak v'Elohei Yaakov Elohei Sarah Elohei Rivka Elohei Rachel v'Elohei Leah Ha'el HaGadol HaGibor v'Hanara El Elyon Komel Chasadim Tovim v'Konei Akol v'Zocher Chasdei Avot v'Imahot u'Mevi Gula Livnei V'neihem L'man Shemo v'Yavah Zochreinu l'chaim melech hafetz b'chaim v'chotvenu b'sefer ha'chaim v'chotvenu b'sefer ha'chaim lemancha Elohim chayim lemancha Elohim chayim melech uzeh u'mashiach u'magen Baruch atah Adonai Magen Abraham ve'ezrat Sarah
Please be seated. The next part of our service is a special section that we do only on Yom Kippur, only on this day, and it has to do with all the things we've done in the last year that we are sorry for. Because as human beings, we all make mistakes, and as human beings, we have the responsibility to say sorry when we know we've made a mistake. And so, at the top of page 40, on page 42 is an introduction to this section, which is called Al Chet. So listen closely, because there are 4 Hebrew words that we'll say over and over again that mean, for the wrong we did, we are sorry. We begin to heal ourselves on Yom Kippur when we remember and say out loud things we are sorry we have done. We say we are sorry together because not one of us is perfect. Everyone does wrong, sometimes on purpose, sometimes without thinking. When we do not do what the Torah commands, we call the wrong a chet. We speak of our chet and say to God, Al chet shechatanu lifanecha, for the wrong we did, we are sorry. And now if we look at page 43, you'll see that the 4 Hebrew words are the same each time. We say them about 6 times, but the English of the things we might be sorry for are different each time. So let's read together. Al chet shechatanu lifanecha, for saying mean words, we are sorry. Al chet shechatanu lifanecha, for hitting instead of using words when we feel hurt, we are sorry. Al chet shechatanu lifanecha, for not sharing what is ours, we are sorry. Al chet shechatanu lifanecha, for not listening to parents and teachers, we are sorry. Al chet shechatanu lifanecha, for not telling the truth, we are sorry. Al chet shechatanu lifanecha, for doing wrong even though we knew the right thing to do, we are sorry. For all wrongs, the ones we say out loud and those we know in our hearts, forgive us, God. Help us to do better.
Ve'al kulam elo slichot, slach lanu mechalanu kaper lanu. Ve'al kulam elo slichot, slach lanu mechalanu.
We take a moment now for silent prayer. Silent prayer is found on page 44. In just a minute, we are going to open the Ark and take the Torah out of the Ark. This is something that the young people usually like having a very good view for. So it is my pleasure right now to invite all the young people who have not yet reached the age of bar or bat mitzvah, come with a grown-up, if that's what it will take to have you come on up. And as well, Xander Zaretsky, who did reach the age of bar mitzvah last year, is invited up because he is going to have the honor. So come on up, kids. And grown-ups, we are on page 45. As we read together, Torah is our light. Torah guides us in our life when we read it day and night. Torah is our light. Torah tells our Jewish story and teaches us what is right. Torah is our light. Torah helps to make the world pleasing in God's sight. Please rise. And we join on page 46, reading responsively in English. Avinu Malkeinu, you bring goodness to our world. Avinu Malkeinu, you are all around us. Avinu, love us as our mothers and fathers love us. Avinu, your love is always with us. Malkeinu, guide us as a wise leader would. Malkeinu, you lead us to live by the Torah. Avinu Malkeinu, bless us with a good year. Avinu Malkeinu, give us health, keep us free, bring the world to peace. Avinu Malkeinu, show us kindness because we are your children. Be fair and loving and help us.
Avinu Malkeinu, Avinu Malkeinu, Avinu Malkeinu, Kanenu Vanenu, Kien Panu Masi, Aseimanu, Tzedakah v'chesed, Aseimanu, Tzedakah v'chesed, ve'hoshienu, Avinu Malkeinu, Avinu Malkeinu.
Okay, Xander, come stand right here. Yep. Oh, okay. Got it? All right. Excellent. Okay, you can turn around and face everybody. Perfect, right there. We join together on page 47 in the Shema.
Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad, Echad Eloheinu, Gadol Adonenu, Kadosh v'norah Shema.
Okay, make a little bit of room for Xander to walk through. Okay, Xander, you're going to walk through first. And now, kids and parents and everybody, you can follow along.
This way.
Okay. let's go to your parents first.
על שלושה דברים, על שלושה דברים העולם אומר, על שלושה דברים,
Okay, great, let's turn.
על שלושה דברים, על שלושה דברים העולם אומר, על התורה ועל העבודה ועל גמילות חסדים.
Okay, you can go up the stairs and just sit in one of the big chairs for a second. Okay, kids, you can go back to your seats.
גמילות חסדים.
Okay, perfect. Please be seated. Okay, so this is where you have to decide where you're gonna be for the next, let's say 20 minutes or so. If you stay in the sanctuary, which is mainly for kids ages 5 and older, you're going to hear the Torah read out loud, and then you're going to hear a story from this storybook called Yom Kippur Shortstop. And so this is the family part. The tot part is for kids probably not yet 5 years old. Cantor Tillum has some much shorter stories, and she has Guitar Adam with her, and you're going to sing some songs for younger kids. That's the tot part. So if you think you are a tot, or related to a tot, or wish you were a tot, now is the time to go with Cantor Tillum to the room right across the hall. And if you are here for that family service, then stay right here. So let me tell you a little bit about this Torah portion as we get ready to read from the Torah. So this Torah portion takes place as the Jewish people are getting ready to enter the promised land. They are not quite there yet, but Moses wants to give them a pep talk to remind them that they are one people, they have one God, and that whatever happens, they can face challenges together. Nothing is so hard that they can't handle it. That's really the message of the Torah portion. The name of the Torah portion is Nitzavim, and after I read it in Hebrew, we will take a look at an interpretation of it in English. And so you might recognize Xander Zaretsky. He read from the Torah at our Rosh Hashanah family and tot service. And today he has a different honor, which is offering the Torah blessings. And I'm going to be the one to read the Torah today. So Xander, come on up and put your hand right there. And you're going to do the blessing right there, nice and loud.
Baruch hu et Adonai hamvorach.
Baruch Adonai hamvorach leolam va'ed.
Baruch Adonai hamvorach leolam va'ed. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech ha'olam asher bachar banu mikol ha'amim v'natan lanu et Torato. Baruch atah Adonai noten ha'torah.
Amen. Amen. Atem nitzavim hayom kulchem lifnei Adonai Elohechem. Rashechem shiftechem ziknechem v'shotrechem kol ish Yisrael. Tapchem nishechem v'gerecha asher bekerev machanecha mechotev eitzecha ad shoev meimecha. Le'ovrecha bivrit Adonai Elohecha uva'alato asher Adonai Elohecha koretimcha hayom.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech ha'olam asher natan lanu Torah emet v'chaye olam nata betochenu. Baruch atah Adonai noten ha'torah.
Amen. Yasher Koach, great job. You can have a seat right behind me. Okay, so for the meaning of this Torah portion, we have a translation which is, Instead of reading the translation of this Torah portion, because I kind of already explained it to you, the Israelites are ready to go. They're one people, they have one God, and they can handle anything that comes their way. Let's go to the translation of another important story that we read on Yom Kippur, and that story is the story of Jonah. So take your prayer books, please, and turn to the middle section where the pages are nice and bright white. And if we turn to page number, it's here somewhere, page number 64, there we go. Page number 64, we find the story of Jonah. And Jonah is a story for Yom Kippur, I think, for two reasons. Number one is that his job is to tell people to do the right thing, and he doesn't want to do his job, and he runs away from his job, and he has to say sorry to God for not wanting to do his job. And second is that his job is to tell people they should do better, and when he says that, they actually do. Let's hear the story of Jonah. Once God spoke to Jonah and said, "Jonah, go to the city of Nineveh and tell the people they have done evil. Tell them God said to behave better or they will be punished." But Jonah didn't want to go, and he didn't want to talk to God anymore. Jonah went down to the harbor and got on a ship going to the city of Tarshish so he could hide from God. But God found him on the ship. God brought a big rainstorm on the sea. The storm was so strong that the ship began to break apart. Jonah knew that God had brought the storm because he had tried to hide from God. He told the sailors on board to throw him into the sea. As soon as they did, the storm stopped. While Jonah floated in the water, God caused a huge fish to swallow him up. Jonah lived in the belly of the fish for 3 days and 3 nights. He had a lot of time to think and to pray. Jonah realized that trying to run away was wrong. God heard Jonah's thoughts, and God caused the fish to let Jonah go. Once again, God told Jonah to go to Nineveh to warn the people. This time Jonah went, and the people listened. They did teshuvah. They stopped their evil ways. They apologized to others they had hurt, and they began to behave better. So God did not punish the people of Nineveh. This made Jonah angry. He thought that if people do something wrong, they ought to be punished. But that is not what God wanted. God wanted the people to do teshuvah, to make up for their mistakes. God did not want to punish the people of Nineveh, and God does not want to punish us either. God would rather have us do teshuvah. God wants to be able to forgive us. So that is the story of Jonah, and we are going to lift and dress the Torah at this time. So just need 1 minute to get ready so Xander can help me dress the Torah, and then we are going to walk around the sanctuary one more time so that the people who didn't get a chance to touch the Torah the first time have a chance this time. Please rise for the lifting and the dressing of the Torah. Okay, Xander, after I sit down, you're going to put this on, so hold it like that, okay? Vizota Torah asher sam Moshe lifnei v'nei Yisrael al pi Adonai biyad Moshe. Yalla lai 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 lai, yalla lai 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 lai, yalla lai 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 lai. Yai lai lai lai, yai lai 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 lai, yai lai 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 lai. Yalla lai 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 lai, yalla lai 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 lai, yalla lai 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 lai. Yai lai lai lai, yai lai 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 lai, yai lai 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 lai. Please join us as we sing Tree of Life, and we'll walk around the sanctuary one more time with the Torah. Shalom, 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 shalom. It is a tree of life to those that hold fast to it, and all of its supporters are happy. It is a tree of life to those that hold fast to it, all of its supporters are happy. Shalom, shalom, Eitz Chaim hi lemachazikim bavitomecheha. Me'ushar, Eitz Chaim hi lemachazikim bavitomecheha. Me'ushar, shalom, 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 shalom. Dan, we get this one. Shalom, shalom, shalom. Don't leave without shaking my hand, Mia. Don't leave without shaking my hand. Nice job. Okay. You may be seated. As I mentioned, it is time for a story. And today's story, well, I told you the title already, but more importantly, I'm going to be sitting here to tell today's story. And perhaps some of you would like to sit here to hear today's story. It has pictures. It's about baseball. What could be wrong with that? Okay, so your parents and grandparents will be able to tell you in a minute the name of the Jewish baseball player that inspired this story. But in the meantime, I'm just going to tell the story the way it's written in the book. This book is called Yom Kippur Shortstop. I'm halfway between second base and third. I'm the shortstop. I lean forward, I put my right foot slightly to the left and my left foot slightly to the right. It's my trick. It's so I can quickly go either way. Okay, has everyone here been to a baseball game? You know the position, shortstop is an infield position, and you have to be ready for one of those grounders to come your way. It's the final inning of our Sunday game. There are 2 outs and runners on second and third. Our team is the Lions. We're ahead by 1 run. If we get this batter out, we win. If he gets a hit, we lose. Dana looks in at the batter. She's our pitcher. She swings her arm around and throws the ball. Bam! It's a speedy drive on its way over second base. I quickly go to my left, I jump, and I have it. If he caught the ball, what does that mean? It means his team, the Lions, win. My whole team shouts, "Jacob, you saved the game." "Good play," Coach says. We celebrate. Coach tells us, "Be here after school Wednesday for our last game." I'll be at the game. This is my 3rd year in Little League, and I've never missed one. Boy, what a good feeling it must be to have your teammates throw you up on their shoulders because you made the winning catch. I bet that was a great feeling for Jacob. He's getting ready for the next game. Dad drives Dana and me home. "You were great," Dana tells me. "You won it for us." "It wasn't just me," I say. Before each game, Coach tells us baseball is a team sport. It takes a whole team to win. Dad stops in front of Dana's house. She lives a block from us. She opens the car door and asks, "Can you take me on Wednesday after school? If we win, we'll have the best record. We'll be champions." "Wednesday?" Dad says. "No, I can't. It's a Jewish holiday. It's Yom Kippur." "Oh, okay. Maybe my mom can take me." And there they are in the car, and Jacob first realizes that the next game falls on a Jewish holiday. Dana goes into her house. Dad drives off. Dad says, "You know, Yom Kippur is an important holiday." "Yes, I know." Dad says, "Think about what you want to do." Can you tell that Jacob, he's got his face hanging out the window, and I think he's already thinking about what he wants to do. On Monday after school, I go to Dana's. She helps me with my fielding. She throws the ball to me again and again. I get to it as quickly as I can. Sometimes I get it there in time and keep the ball from going past. Sometimes I don't. Dana throws the ball over my head. She does this lots of times. I jump for it. Sometimes I catch it and sometimes I don't. I help Dana practice her pitching. She's good. Okay, Do you guys have anything you do that you need to practice for to get better at it? Sports is one thing. Does anybody here practice music to get better at it? Yes. What else takes practice? Reading takes practice. There's lots of things. Now it's Tuesday. Yom Kippur starts at sunset. It ends Wednesday night. That's how Jewish holidays go, from one night to the next. First, even before the holiday starts, we eat dinner. That's because Yom Kippur is a fast day. Mom and Dad won't eat or drink. I will. I'm too young to fast. We're mostly quiet. Maybe Mom and Dad are thinking about how they will be better in the year ahead, what good deeds they'll do. That's a Yom Kippur thing. So is praying for a good year. I'm thinking too. I'm thinking about tomorrow's game. I can think about good deeds at the game while I wait to bat. I pray while I'm in the field waiting for someone to hit it to me. After dinner, I go to our synagogue with my parents. We think and pray and listen to the rabbi's sermon. We are all connected, the rabbi says. We are connected to our families, our friends, our people, and the world. I look around. I know a lot of people here, and they know me. I guess we're connected. So there's the rabbi, and look at all the people paying very close attention to the rabbi's sermon. Let that be an artistic example to all of you as we turn the page. It's Wednesday morning. I don't go to school. I go with my parents to synagogue. I bring along my baseball bag with my uniform, bat, and glove. When it's time, I can walk to the game. It's not far. I pray that my friends and family don't get sick. I pray that I don't make so many careless mistakes in math. I know math mistakes are not as important as good health, but math is important to me. Okay, so he has a decision to make. Is he going to stay in synagogue on Yom Kippur, or is he going to go to his championship game? Do you know what you would do? Do you know what you would do? Do you know what you would do? Well, I'm not asking because maybe what happens in the story will help you make up your mind. I go to the snack room. It's for people who aren't fasting. Mostly kids are here, but also a few older people. Jared is here. We go to the same school. Last year, he was in my class. I have a Little League game soon, I tell him. If we win, we'll be champions. Jared is eating a pretzel stick. He swings it like a baseball bat. Pow, he says, it's a home run. I eat my snack and go back. The rabbi is telling the story of Jonah. God told Jonah to go to Nineveh, to tell the people there to change their sinful ways. Jonah did not want to deliver God's message. He got on a boat and tried to run away, but he couldn't run from God. A powerful wind stirred the water. Great waves were about to tear the boat apart. Throw me overboard, Jonah told the captain, and the boat will be saved. Do you remember that? We read that only a couple of minutes ago. So there, he's listening to the story of Jonah. I think that's going to help him make up his mind. Jonah was thrown into the sea. A great fish swallowed him. Inside that fish, Jonah prayed. God heard his prayers, and the fish let Jonah out on dry land. Jonah went to Nineveh and gave the people God's message. The people of Nineveh prayed. Even the king prayed. They turned away from sin. God heard their prayers and spared them from being punished. The rabbi says, the people of Nineveh and their king prayed. Jonah prayed. It is important for us to pray. I've never pictured the fish with those big spiky teeth. The fish is kind of mean looking. I always thought the fish was kind of friendly because, it took care of Jonah for 3 days. I look at the clock. My game is starting soon. I go to the bathroom and change into my uniform. In the hall, I see Jared. You're going? He asks. It's an important game, I tell him. I've seen kids in all kinds of uniforms here at religious school, but never on Yom Kippur. I leave the synagogue. As I walk, I think about the game. I'll swing the bat and try to hit the ball. I always do that, but sometimes I swing and miss. I reach out my glove and try to catch the ball, but sometimes I won't catch it. I always try my best, but I don't always succeed. Maybe I can't control everything that happens to me. I stop walking. I look back at the synagogue. Today's game is important. Prayer is also important. I go back to the synagogue and sit by my dad. I pray for myself, my family, and for everyone, including the lions. Outside, it's getting dark. Soon the game will be over. Soon Yom Kippur will be over too. My parents' friend, Mr. Gelman, blows the shofar, the ram's horn. Yom Kippur is over. We go home. Mom and Dad are in a hurry to eat. They're hungry. I'm in a hurry to call Dana. I want to know if we won. Yes, Dana tells me, 6-4. Sunday, we get championship trophies. Me too? I missed the game. Jacob, you're on the team. You get a trophy. Yes, I am on the team. I'm on lots of teams. My family, my friends, my people, and the world. The Lions, too. And that is the end of our story called Yom Kippur Shortstop. Now, I'll tell you, the player that this was inspired after was not a shortstop. He was a pitcher. And now you may go back to your seats and ask your parents the name of the real life, or grandparents, the name of the real life pitcher who inspired this story. I bet they know his name. Okay, so we're going to pause for just a minute and send a signal to Cantor Tillum and the Tots that we are ready for them to come back. Last week they were here first before the story was even done. But this week we will wait for just a minute for the Tots to come back, and then we will continue with our service. Okay. Welcome back, Tots. I hope you had some great stories and songs with the cantor and guitar Adam. Every seat in the sanctuary is a good seat, don't worry. We're ready for you, Cantor.
Yes.
I heard the Tots had a good time.
Oh, we really got to singing. That's what took so long. We got singing.
Okay, and guitar Adam is also going to double as shofar Adam,
He is,
right?
He's
All right.
switching hats right now.
Okay. We continue with the Aleinu, which is found in our prayer book on page 51. Please rise if you are able for the Aleinu. Before our service ends, let us praise God, who made the whole world and whose greatness we see everywhere. When we bow toward the Aron Kodesh, we are saying that there is only one God. The oneness of God reminds us that all people are one human family. We pray for shalom, for peace, within the human family.
ואנחנו קוראים ומשתחווים ומודים לפני מלך מלכי המלכים הקדוש ברוך הוא.
Our God, help us to live in shalom with every living thing in the world, with all people and with the earth itself. We heal the world and make it one when shalom lives in our hearts. We follow the ways of the one God when shalom guides our deeds. May the day come soon when the world is one as God is one.
ביום ההוא יהיה אדוני אחד ושמו אחד.
On Yom Kippur, we remember people in our family whose lives have ended. Though they are no longer with us, we think of them. We have heard our friends and family tell about them. They are part of us. We ask you, Adonai, to remember them and give them peace. On page 53 is the Mourner's Kaddish. We join together now in reading the Kaddish. Yitgadal v'yitgadash shemei rabbah, be'alma divrach yirutei v'yamlich malchutei, b'chayechon uvyomechon uv'chaye dechol beit Yisrael, ba'agala uv'yizman kariv v'imru amen. Yehi shmei rabba mivorach leolam ulolmei almaya, yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitpa'ar v'yitromam v'yitnaseh, v'yithadar v'yitale v'yithalal shemei d'kudsha b'rechu. Le'ela min kol birchata v'shirata, tushbechata v'nechemata, ta'amiran be'alma v'imru amen. Yehi shlama rabba min shemaya, v'chayim aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael, v'imru amen. Oseh shalom bimromav, hu ya'aseh shalom, aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael, v'imru amen. Please be seated. It is my pleasure at this time to call upon Stacy Butler, a member of our Board of Trustees, to offer Shana Tova greetings and announcements.
Shana Tova, everyone.
Shana
Welcome
Tova.
to Temple Emeth. I'd like to share a few announcements of interest to families with young children. Registration is still open for our new collaborative religious school for students in grades K through 7, which begins this Sunday, October 1st. Speak to me or Rabbi Siru for details. Please join us this Friday night for our celebration of Sukkot. We will have pizza in the hut at 5:30. Who doesn't like pizza? Come on. Then, our Bereishit beginnings and consecration service will begin at 6:15. Simchat Torah, the holiday when we dance with the Torahs, is Friday, October 6th at 7 p.m. This festive service will conclude with a special candy bar oneg. But before our festive service, please sign up for our Simchat Torah potluck dinner, which will start at 6:15. There's actually a sign-up sheet, because we need to know who's bringing what. While we all have brownies, we don't need 25 trays of brownies. So, you'll see that I volunteered to bring chicken already. Brandon's bringing brownies, so I hope that you'll volunteer, sign up, okay? There's also going to be a sign-up coming out through the Temple Bulletin and Temple Information so that you can sign up so that I know how many people will be there, because we need a lot of cookies and a lot of chicken. That being said, Temple Emeth offers family services, including a birthday blessing and a story from the rabbi on the first Friday of the month at 7:30. After Simchat Torah, our next family service will be on Friday, November 3rd. Thank you to the volunteers in the live stream control room this afternoon. Barbara Balkin and Amanda Eastman are at the controls. Finally, as you leave today, please bring your prayer book to the doors of the sanctuary where our teen volunteer will be collecting them from you. Thank you, and whether you're here in person or watching us on live stream, Shana Tova.
Thank you, Stacy. So, if you were here on Rosh Hashanah, you heard a number of different sounds coming from the shofar. But at the end of Yom Kippur, there is just one sound that comes from. Is he here yet?
He's right there.
Oh, hey, how's it going? We have just one sound that comes from the shofar, and it is the longest sound, and the sound that makes to me at least, makes the biggest impression. And so we're going to hear the name of that sound, and we're going to hear the sound itself from the shofar in just a minute. But first, I want to invite up all the kids one last time, family-age kids, tot-age kids, to come up on the bima because we're going to open the ark. Adam is going to be right here in front of the ark, and you are going to get to hear the shofar one last time in this holiday season. Adonai, our God, help us in the new year to live the way the Torah teaches us. When we think of good deeds, help us to do them. When we do good deeds, bless us with shalom. May we always remember you every day of the week, just as we do now, as we say 7 times that you are God. So it's a 3-word phrase. We have to say it 7 times. So you guys help me keep track so we say it the right number. Here we go. Adonai hu ha-Elohim. 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 We began our circle of Teshuvah on Rosh Hashanah. As our circle of Teshuvah closes on this day of Yom Kippur, we sound the Tekiah Gedolah to remember God always calls us to be our best self. So I'm going to step down so Adam can step up.
Tekiah Gedolah.
Asher Koach. So we close the ark. And thank you to Adam Kohen. And our closing song of this service is the song we sing to wish one another a good new year. You can go back to your seats as together we sing Lishana Tova.
Lishana Tova Tikatevu, Lishana Tova Tikatevu, Tikatevu, and a happy new year to you.
This concludes our service for our family and tots on Yom Kippur. If you've been watching on live stream, it's your last chance to post something in the chat or comment section of the live stream platform. And here in the sanctuary, we say Gemar Chatima Tova and Shana Tova.
Shana Tova.